All right, so it's Saturday, the February 1st. So we started in January 8th, and this is basically almost 30 days. So things that happened this week, we pitched our third module, step by step method of instruction, and we had PRT evals, which are gonna focus on that longer than the actual pitch. So by now, you should already be good at pitching, or you should have a really confident the day when you wake up to pitch your module. Like, I definitely feel way better now that I know my study habits, I know how to learn it. And basically, I killed it. I could definitely kill that pitch the day I said it. The only thing that gave me on the last one was because I looked with my eyes towards the demonstrator, which one of the biggest pro tip I can tell you about pitching is to be kind of like a 45-degree angle and give your back to the grader so that he's not looking at your eyes and looking at your face while you're trying to give commands. But if you're in a 45-degree angle to the demonstrator, you can, with your peripheral, you can see what he's doing. And if you rely on the demonstrator to pitch that module, especially step by step, that's what we do. And I'm definitely gonna do it next time and see how that works. But I saw a couple people doing it and it works because then you can just literally look straight and be like, all right. And the design leader, the instructor, is grading you and he's not looking at your eyes when you give him the back. Or at least if you're giving his forward portion of your body towards the grader, you're at least not looking down, which they emphasize on that a lot. It's like, how many points did it take? Like 10 points when you look to it's like 10 points. When you're pitching your module and you're not in a position of attention, it's like automatic 10 points, I think. It's like 10 points, because I got a 90, and that was the only thing I got giggled. Which, right after on my feedback, right after for the AAR, she asked me, she's like, what's the position for giving commands? And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, position of attention, so like, describe it. And I was like, well, I head and eye forward, and some blah, 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 the whole spiel. And she was like, yeah, exactly, don't do that next time. I was all right. So with that, I'm going to give you guys a little pro tip, which I have it right here. On my second pitch, I had another peer of mine kind of like watching me study. And she basically said, hey, maybe you're having a difficult time because the way you're studying right now, it doesn't work. And I was like, that could probably it. And what she did to me, she helped me putting the modules on little index cards. So I will buy a lot of index cards. You don't need them for everything. And I basically break them apart. So my next pitch is order arms with the card line. So I basically put the first sentence on one card, and then second sentence in another one, and so forth and so forth. So you're not looking at your entire module while you're trying to pitch. You're trying to learn it, and you're like, fuck, I have half a page left. No, you're looking at lines, and you're learning them. But we are about to pitch the fourth module, and by now, the structure of the modules don't change. So if you learn that the intro don't change whatsoever. Obviously the wording on it, the content change, but the actual structure of the entire module don't change whatsoever. So by module 4, which is gonna get easier because you already know 60% of the module, especially order arms, because it's basically the position of attention with a carbine, and you're just describing where your hands goes and where the weapon goes, and the command of execution attention or falling. And other than that, everything else is the same. But it get easier. And you're more confident, so you're learning quicker. And I think the R2 classes that you get, same thing. The R2 classes are pretty legit, and they're gonna teach you a couple of different methods to study. But I found out that myself and a couple of the people, index cards is the best thing ever. Let's see. So with the index card, I also recommend if you come here and you don't know PRT whatsoever, and you basically didn't study like me. I knew PRT, preparation drill, and recovery drill. Everything in the middle, They were doing it in my unit, so I didn't learn it. So what I did was I paired up with the same person who helped me with the card, and she kind of like helped me out and structurized PRT. So basically, we broke it down in like a little section. So this is recovery drill, and she put the acronym or ETS for recovery. So overarm pull, rear lunge, extended flex, tight stretch, single leg over. So I put in like little cards where you can fit all the drills in like a little pocket in your pocket and put it on a PT jacket or put it on some ACU pocket or anything. You can study. You can bring it out and be like, all right, well, let me pick this one. All right, acronym, and that helped me a lot because I learned it like that. So there's another method that you can study with acronyms and everything. So little tip for you. I also put the PRT on index card. So basically, I put like SM, a stability drill, a strength and mobility drill, and I put like what does it stand for and what are the drills in the drill, because you're gonna need that for the intro that you're gonna do for PRT. You're gonna need to name each drill because you're executing that to standard. And I basically put it here. I put all the exercises. Is it the preparation drill? For the core, which is BS barbecue. So create your own acronyms or ask around people. People know a lot of acronyms. There's ones that are really not up. They're violating shark programs, but you don't have to say the damn acronym. So just learn it. That'll be the easiest way to learn it. And you basically, for PRT, you do SM, which is the strength and mobility, and then endurance and mobility. So one day you do one, and then the next day you do another one. All right. With that being said, this week this is week 4, quote unquote. But it's week 3 by the handbook. It's like week 3. But we're technically on week 4 of 7-day week. So we enter white phase, which is not different from red phase. Student leadership will take over. And I did feel that the drill sergeant leaders at the DFAC are not on top of us more, or like looking for shit. Basically, we kind of like have a little bit more freedom on the relaxation aspect of it. You're still facing movements in the DFAC and all that, but they're not there any like longer than 15-20 minutes. They'll eat and then half of them will leave, by the way. But white face is just white face. It's just naming white face. It's not different whatsoever. All right. So the biggest thing this week, PRT. Things you should know about PRT. PRT is like, it's about precision. It's all about the AI. The PI, you just remember how to do the damn exercise and don't forget how to do them. But the AI is really important because a lot of my points that I got deducted came from the AI portion of it. I got 85 was my grade. So just AI is like the biggest thing. And I might explain a little bit that in a minute. But before you come here, download the app, the PRT app. Learn the starting position for all the drills, all the exercises within the drill. That helped me a lot because once it says like starting position move, and you start saying the starting position for the push-up is the front leg rest position, he's already in cadence in like count 2. So, and then you start saying, on count 1, lower your body in a straight line as a PRT push-up, blah, blah, blah. You start making shit up that makes sense. Obviously, they don't want you to say something off the walls. But there's not like a prescribed thing that you have to say like a module. You basically want to describe the starting position, which is really easy. You start your stance, feet as in a racetrack, hands on hip, fingers in and joint, thumb to the rear, shit like that. And then go into the actual exercise and describe what they're doing. You're looking at them while they're doing it. And the biggest thing they want you to do is correct them. Even though if they're not even doing anything wrong, nothing. If they're doing a perfect push-up, perfect overhand roll, perfect rower, you still have to say something about correction. And you need to be talking the entire time in cadence. And I was just yelling at people. I was like, hey, your arms should be in the ground. And then I would call him out and be like, Sergeant Gibbons, your arm is not in the ground. And it was literally in the ground. But that's what they want you to do. They want you to focus on corrections and precision. Because you will be doing this later on in the cycle when you do the battalion embedment. We're gonna be actually conducting PRT with trainees. So precision is like the biggest thing they emphasize on PRT evals. Also, with that precision, understand the philosophy and the strategy. Understand that the grading standard is a standard, and when they tell you some feedback, especially for SMs, this is the first one. I will take to heart what they're saying. Like, hey, you've been too quiet, or your cadence is a little bit off. You may not notice that. You may be screaming, like I thought I was screaming. And he told me that I was a little bit quiet. But once I start reading the rubric and it says you need to be loud enough for 60 people, 60 trainees, not just 6 or 12 that they're in front of you, 60 people, then my EM went way better because I took everything he told me that day and to heart, and I practiced at night, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go and kill it. And I literally, I was really, really confident, and I destroyed that one. But I would not take offensive when they give you constructive feedback, and I will take it to heart. So how that works is it's like a module. So you wake up in the morning, like really early in the morning. We were at formation like by 4:10. You go to formation, you form up. They brief you. They get sent you to the bleachers, and they'll brief you a little scribe that they have to do, and they start handing little rubric thing and the grader sheets, and they'll tell you to fall in as a company mass, and they'll do lines, and they'll pick you the line. And Joe was like, "Follow me." Once you get there, they're gonna collect all the cards, little papers, and they're gonna mix it all up, and then pick 2, like a little drawing hand. All right, you and you are the PI for now. You are the AI, and there's like a rhythm, and different drawing had a different switch portions of points, or like checkpoints where they want to switch with the PII. For us was like you switch after the first 5 preparation, and then you switch again on the final 5 of the preparation. Then the next guy starts 4 for the core, almost to the entirely. Then the other guy will do the conditional drill 1, and so forth and so forth, all the way to recovery. But the one thing that doesn't change, no matter what drill sergeant it is the intro. If you start the intro, you're not gonna do the closeout. You do the intro, and then you do the extended formation. You start the first 5, and then you switch, and then after the final one, your final drill, the climbing drill, the guy closing the formation out will do the closeout. So it's something you need to process and something you need to think about. Let's see, but it's not hard. PRT, they make it really, really. What's the word you use? They emphasize on that a lot.
Yeah.
They emphasize on how important PRT is and how they will be really, really strict on grading, which they were. At least my sergeant was really, really strict. Like I had him twice back to back, and he was really strict to the T. But and we understand the importance because you're gonna be the one conducting, not just like I said, PI. If the only thing you need to basically practice is doing PRT on the PT stand, because it's different. A lot of people are not comfortable speaking in front of people. But AI, you need to kind of like feed from what they're gonna be saying on the first 72 hours when they're actually going down this script that they have to show us and tell us how the exercise works. Some people caught up with that. Like I have a friend that can literally spill the entire thing verbatim just for listening. So, but kind of pick your points that you want to talk about the exercise, or pick the checkpoints they're gonna be talking about, so that you're not talking nonsense and you don't get gigged because you talk some nonsense. But PRT is easy. I would say don't stress it. I was stressing, but it was fine. Let's see. There was a question that came up on my last video about if it's a gentleman course or if it's like basic training, full basic training. First of all, the course depends on your platoon that you're gonna be in. Our platoon is really nice because they're like really cohesive drill sergeant leaders, and the first 72 hours sucked, but then they kind of lay back and watch us. They only interfere with us whenever they have to. Whenever we're fucking something up, they're gonna be like behind us and hey, do it this way, whatever. But it's technically almost like a gentleman course, all right? They will respect you. If I seen a couple of people getting yelled at, it's because it really fucked up. But other than that, it's definitely not like basic training. They know that you know shit, and they're not gonna treat you like a trainee. They're gonna respect you. But if you come with the mentality that, hey, I get mad when the drill sergeants are treating me like a private, since I'm a sergeant now, I'm a staff sergeant, or I'm promotable or whatever. Don't take offense to that. That's how it works. All right. That's just, you are the drill sergeant academy. You are to be told what to do, what to wear, what to eat. So if you come with that mentality, like I accepted the fact that I'm here already, like day one. You're gonna have a good time here because the people that I work with are actually pretty nice. But if you come with the mentality that shit, they're screaming at me or they're disrespecting me, whatever, you're gonna have a really hard time to adjust. So I would say that. Another thing that I had this week, it was my leadership week. First Monday to Wednesday was platoon sergeant, and then Wednesday or Thursday and to Saturday today was the AI. For platoon sergeant, I basically, since this is like week 3, I saw that the platoon needed like a structure more than anything. So I made like permanent squad leaders, and I had like people position themselves in like permanent places. So when I fall them in, it took seconds to fall in because we were already almost there. Some people didn't want to do it. Some people, you're gonna get those people. You're gonna get the people that don't want to support the idea, or people that think they know more than you. You're gonna have those people, and you're gonna learn how to deal with them. But for the most part, it was pretty nice to actually call fall in and only have one person move instead of 20 people trying to move. And right now, we know how to fall in. We know we have to center middle platoon. If it's fire platoon, it's middle platoon center to the flag with the 5th person in front of the formation, and so forth and so forth. So that was easier. But with that being said, AIs, my biggest recommendation for AIs that are in leadership positions for that week, just yelled. Just be a drill sergeant. Just embrace it. Embrace that you're a drill sergeant for those 3 days. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see people timid. They don't want to see people scared or ranked. People are gonna have the chance. People are gonna be in your spot one day, like I was this week. And I was yelling. I was really, and people were doing the right thing. But I was just saying shit. Head and eyes forwards. Dress to the right. Look to the right. Fingers curled. Not talking information. Not moving information. Just shit like that. That's what they look for. They look for people who are willing to say, to correct NCOs, which I didn't mind. They called me annoying for a reason, and I was really annoying, especially at the DFAC. That's when I go off and I go yelled and manifest myself to like, I embraced it. I embraced it this week, and I liked it. That I embraced it. Kind of opened a little bit of. I was like a little nutshell in trying to deal with NCOs like that. So, but the second day on Thursday when I was AI for Thursday, I literally like just went off, and told people to look forward. Even if they're doing the right thing, you just say something. Let the drill sergeant hear you saying something. With this week, I learned a couple of things. I learned that I need to learn cadences because you're gonna call cadences. So learn before you come here. Also, I know how to march. I know that's instilled in me, but I didn't practice too much before I came here. So I would say, if you're a squad leader right now, if you're a platoon sergeant right now, if you're a leader of some sort in the army, and you come in this way, train, practice, execute. Execute PRT and see how you do. Read the manual, march people around. Like even if they don't want to. Like I don't. My first time calling cadence in front of anybody was in this course, which is not the right time to do it. So if you have a squad or platoon, march them around, watch them for a little bit, watch your steps, call cadences, get uncomfortable. So when you come here, you look like you know your shit, and you don't look like an idiot trying to call cadences. I literally learned a cadence, full cadence in like 15-20 minutes because my roommate helped me out. Let's see. And then one of the biggest tips, I think that would be the final topic. Once you're here, you need to support each other. All right. Teamwork is the only way you're going to survive this course. Teamwork for studying, teamwork for conducting PRT, teamwork from when your leadership comes, teamwork when you're a private for that week, teamwork. You want to go fast to formation or to falling into the defect and you want to be the first one to eating. You don't want to be outside in the cold or in the rain, for example, like this week. I was calling, I got my platoon there, cover, recover, fall from the left, go on the left, good, go. Like fast, like get your shit together when you're in leadership positions and get your guys to shout quick. If you are part of the formation, support the platoon sergeant who's there. Like I've been doing for the last 3 weeks, trying to help out the people that have never been platoon sergeant before or they just got promoted. Just help out like that, pre-form the formation so that when he go fall in, right face, if you're shorter than the CEO in front of you, move forward, 10, 15 people are not moving around. It's wasting time, which that's my biggest pet peeve this week, wasting time. We waste a lot of time sometimes falling in because people just like, oh, we don't fall in from the right. You're not falling in from the right, you're preforming. The command of execution falling in has not been given. So once that's given, yes, you fall in on the left. But if it's not given and you're short and you're tall, why should you be in the front? If you're tall, you should be in the back already. If you're short, you should be in the middle or front. Preforming, because they're going to do a right face and they're going to do a cover and they're going to say the command of, if you're shorter than the CEO in front of you, move forward. So preforming is the biggest thing. And you see other NCOs that want to work together preforming because they already know they're playing the game. You just play the game. And other people is like, they're not embracing it and they just want to try for you to look bad. It didn't bother me whatsoever when they didn't preform. But I preformed them before the first time, the first time called fall in. I fall in my platoon, like a formal formation, especially if we were the middle platoon this week, so we could preform and actually be in place. So I preform them, fall in, right face, cover, recover, left face, at ease. People couldn't move anymore out of place. So that's a little side tip by there. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this week. Next week is technically week 4 on the books. I don't know what the hell is going on next week. Do we have anything next week that we should know? Yeah, me neither. I don't know. My body doesn't know. I don't know. We have a pitch, obviously, but that's on Tuesday. But I don't know what else is coming this week. I think we have classes. We have to give classes next week, which is really easy if you're giving classes before. So I think we're giving classes. I think the class evals are next week. Well, we'll fill you in that Saturday. But other than that, have a weekend, Super Bowl weekend. Be safe. If you have any questions, write them there. Or when you're here, a couple people approached me that they watched the videos before during the course. And they asked me questions while in the course. Or any question they couldn't get an answer on YouTube, just hit me up. If anything, just subscribe for the other couple weeks. There's 6 more videos I'm doing for all the way to graduation week. And just be informed. Study before you come here. Be prepared. Don't take this course lightly, because it is an up tempo and the information comes down the pipe like no other. And if you hear that, yeah, he was taking a shit, and he just came out of taking a shit, and he flushed the toilet with me recording the video. But anyways, just good weekend, guys, and just fucking write me up if you are around here already. If you are here already, hit me up and we'll talk, and I can give you more in-depth information or any questions you may have. Just come to my room, knock on my door, or I'll send you a message with my room is, and that's pretty much it. So have a weekend.